What's going on out there, YouTubers? This is the inaugural Friends Arguing Over MMA podcast. This is your host, Dustin Falloy. This is my co-host, Anthony Staban. Did I say that correctly?
Said it correctly. Get about a
Okay.
few different names.
That's the first hurdle. We just jumped right there. This is my microphone. I'm gonna ask Mr. Staban here the first question.
Let's go.
What makes you think that Jamahal Hill is the lock of the century tomorrow? Please.
He could do a good interview.
Enlighten me.
He's been doing this once or twice. Clearly the better striker. It's his time. Too much power for Glover. He's getting a little up in age, so chin's a little weak. He's going to stuff the takedowns. The instincts are off the charts. The striking's too good. He has way too much power for him.
Power. You think it's an issue of power?
It's going to be a power fight. The odds makers agree with me. Jamahal Hill minus 146.
So you think that he has a power advantage over Glover Teixeira?
KO power, that is.
You think he hits harder than Glover Teixeira?
He hits harder than Glover Teixeira.
You think so?
Think so.
Based on what?
Based on his recent history of bouts.
His win
That's
over said fighters such as Jimmy Crute?
Jimmy Crute's not bad. Respected fighter. Knockout of Johnny Walker, who's a 2-1 favorite over Paul Craig, who's pretty damn good.
Paul Craig.
Paul Craig's also going to win.
You
That's
think
gonna
he's
be
a
an
title
easy one.
contender? Paul Craig. What kind of guys do you think Glover's fought since he's been in the UFC? Only the best.
Glover fought the better competition. He's been fighting for too long, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, let's say if we made a list of pros and cons. Let's see if you agree with me on this. My list. Let's see if you agree with my list. For Jamahal Hill, pros and cons. Let's see. Con, the fight is in Brazil.
No, not a con.
How's that not a con?
Jamahal Hill will be ready for that.
Statistically speaking, that's a con.
I hate to follow statistics.
Well, statistically speaking, it's a con.
It's a con for who?
He's
Has it
never
been a
even
con
left.
for him?
He's
Has
said
it been a con for Conor McGregor when he went there?
When has he ever left the
Knocked out
Midwest?
Jose Aldo in 9 seconds.
You're comparing Jamahal Hill to Conor McGregor.
I once compared Jamahal Hill as a poor man's John Jones.
So you think that they have similar characteristics?
I think it's his time. Also think Dana
How do you
White.
substantiate this?
It was set up. Dana White wanted this. It's his time. Jamahal Hill, light heavyweight champ. It's an easy play. Gilbert Burns, Jamahal Hill. I'm glad you're getting this on the video.
I agree with you on Gilbert Burns. Okay, but he's a 5-1 favorite.
Jamahal Hill's
You're saying the odds makers agree
almost
that
a
it's basically a
150
pick'em.
favorite.
It's basically a pick'em.
No, it's not. He's a 150 favorite.
Do you think that the only okay? So let's go back to that pros and cons list. You're saying that fighting in Brazil is a neutral, or are you saying that's a positive for him?
I just think it's gonna. I think it's gonna come in a little more focused.
You think them chanting in Brazilian Portuguese, "Die, we're gonna kill you," is gonna be an advantage in unison?
He's not gonna understand what they're saying.
No, he will.
And just like he said,
He will.
The crowd can't fight for him. So
Well, he doesn't need the crowd to fight for him. I'm pretty sure that Glover Teixeira is one of the more aggressive, capable guys I've ever watched fight.
Glover just won the belt. This is his farewell tour. I could see him dropping the gloves in the center of the ring, retiring after this brutal knockout he's gonna have right in front of his home country.
You think it happens in the first round, second round?
I think a lot of the Brazilians go down. First round, second round, third, fourth, fifth. Jamahal Hill can take a punch.
Okay, so
It's
back to
hard
the pros
hit.
and cons list. Since you won't agree with me on an obvious con, which is fighting in someone's home territory, why do you think sportsbooks give, if the Steelers are playing the Browns in Cleveland and they're evenly matched, the Browns are going to be given 3?
Okay, so why is Glover not the favorite?
Well, no.
It's clearly better.
I mean, maybe that's all baked
That's
into
my
the
question
cake.
to you.
Maybe that's all baked into the cake, but regardless, that's one variable in that spread, is it not?
It is.
Okay, so let's carry on to the next.
He can wrestle better than Jamahal Hill.
Who?
Glover, he can wrestle better
Okay,
than
yes.
Jamahal Hill.
Let's talk about that. He's a far superior wrestler. Con for obviously for Jamahal Hill. let's talk about if he does happen to take him down, which I don't think there's ever been a fight that Glover's been in unless he just got knocked out right away where he doesn't get multiple takedowns.
I don't see when Glover gets him down, he's going to really do much.
You think Jamahal Hill pops back up?
There's a good chance he does, yeah, I do.
Based on what?
Based on his training.
Did he not get taken down 7 times by Thiago?
And
Santos?
Thiago couldn't do nothing to him.
If I'm not mistaken,
He just gets out of the way.
So Thiago Santos had 17 fights in the UFC, 2 takedowns before that. In 7, it's cumulative.
I told you, he didn't want to stand up with Jamahal Hill. Nobody does. You want to stand up and try to trade strikes with Jamahal Hill, you're at a huge disadvantage. Got to get the fight to the mat. That's what Glover's going to try to do.
He did get the
He better be shooting good because Jamahal Hill's going to stuff a lot of them. Glover is going to get tired. His chin's not going to hold up.
So you don't think that if Jamahal Hill gets taken down early in this fight and takes some punishment and can't get up and maybe spends a whole round on the ground on the bottom, you don't think it's going to affect how he moves forward on his feet?
No.
How so?
Because I've watched Jamahal fight.
What wrestler has he ever fought? What wrestler has he ever fought?
Dario.
Who?
Darko.
And how many times did he get taken down in that fight? Darko's a middleweight. Darko's a middleweight.
He probably got taken down a few times.
He got taken down 5 times.
Yeah.
Darko's a middleweight.
He still lost. Don't matter if you take Jamahal Hill down.
Well, Darko,
you got to finish him.
Okay, so you think Darko and Glover Teixeira are comparable in terms of their grappling prowess?
Finish Yuri. He couldn't finish Yuri.
Yuri is another type of animal, dude. Yuri has found a way to tap into some kind of a spirit animal that very few UFC fighters ever get to do.
Jamahal Hill will knock out Yuri. That'll be an easy fight for Jamahal.
Maybe. But I'm just saying Yuri is a special kind of guy, and I don't see that in Jamahal Hill. I don't. How do you get caught in an armbar from open guard?
It's Paul Craig.
Twice.
He's the best. He's the best. He's going to do that tomorrow.
He's the best?
He's going to do it to Johnny Walker.
So I know you can't do MMA math, but did you see how Volkan stifled every single thing that Paul Craig threw at him?
And that's why Paul Craig is going to look good.
Okay, so did you see what DC did to Volkan when they fought?
Volkan sucks. He sucked in the fight against Paul Craig. He didn't do it. He
dominated
did anything. He didn't dominate him.
He won every round.
Yeah, because Paul Craig just didn't fight. Volkan sucks.
I digress.
Easiest play tomorrow is Paul Craig over Johnny Walker.
So what do you think is going to happen in that fight? Break that down for me if you think that's so easy.
So easy. And just to let everybody know, I'm a big Johnny Walker fan. One of my favorites.
Well, since Paul Craig can't wrestle and he can't strike,
Paul Craig can't strike.
What makes
he has a lot of power.
Let me ask you this. Since you agreed that Volkan looked like shit in that fight and still won against Paul Craig, did Volkan not lay out the blueprint to beat Paul Craig?
What's that? Stay on your feet?
Do exactly what he did. You don't think Johnny Walker has the capability of doing that?
He can, but
you
Johnny Walker's just not that good.
Listen, your jiu-jitsu is null and void if you can't wrestle. Unless the guy just entertains that part of your game.
Johnny Walker kind of sucks. He's not good. Jamahal Hill, you see what he did to Johnny Walker? Wasn't even close. Sent him into another dimension.
Johnny Walker's and Paul Craig are not... they all are never going to be champion.
Johnny Walker's awake.
If Paul Craig ever becomes champion, I'm a monkey's uncle.
Well, we'll let you know tomorrow. We'll check back on the vlog.
Well, let's talk about the co-main event a little bit here.
That's a close one.
What are your thoughts on that?
That's a close one.
This is the UFC's first quadrilogy. It's come close to happening before. I believe Cain Velasquez and JDS fought 3 times. GSP and Matt Hughes fought 3 times. Randy Couture and Chuck Liddell fought 3 times, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
BJ Penn, I think, fought Matt Hughes 3 times.
There's been a lot of trilogies.
Yeah, there's been a lot of trilogies. This is the first quadrilogy. Me personally, I believe this fight shouldn't have happened. I think Brandon Moreno put this rivalry to bed with a decision win that both me and Anthony got. Let's just be frank, we got fucked on.
We got robbed.
When was that? Last year.
Last year.
Anyway, so tell me how you think this fight unfolds.
I think he beats Davison. I think he has a better chin. I think his striking is similar. I think he just has more heart. I think he got robbed in the last fight. We already seen what happened when he takes his back. Choked him out real quick in the second fight. First fight was good, so my money's gonna be on Brandon. I think Davidson's gonna come in a little too hot, and he's gonna outlast him. It's a very, very tough weight cut. I'm pretty sure Davidson said that he's going up to 35 after this. Anyway, win or lose. So
I mean, I thought Davidson looked great in the UFC embeddeds at the weigh-in.
He did say he's going up to 35 though. I'm pretty sure.
But he made. I think he made the weight pretty easily today, didn't he? I don't think that's going to affect anything.
He did, but he's a little too big for that weight. So the more time you cut, the worse it is for your body. That's how I feel.
So, give me a forecast. What do you think happens in this fight?
Brandon Moreno via submission or decision. I wouldn't rule out a decision. I don't think he knocks him out. I think he puts him on Wobble Street and maybe jumps on his back again, just like he did in the second fight. Easy finish. I think I think he can take his neck. That's what I'm banking on.
I think I have to agree with you. I think Davison Figueiredo's confidence kind of has me a little bit hesitant on pulling the trigger on Moreno. Also, the judges completely fucking Moreno in the trilogy. I mean, I would think that they owe him one, but
the only thing that I'm worried about tomorrow is, since I like so many non-Brazilians, this is in Brazil, how many Brazilians are actually going to go down? I mean, other than Andrade and Burns, I don't like any of them. The Bonfils brothers?
How about Gelton Almeida?
Gelton Almeida, that's just a guaranteed. He's going to be champ.
You think he wins by finish?
I think he wins by finish, which I think it's already a 7-1, so it's not even bettable. You're going to have to bet the round, which I would do round 1 or 2. I think there's a prop for that, which is probably still -4 something.
Yeah.
So
you heard it here first, guys. Gelton Almeida.
Gelton Almeida.
Bet your lock, sir.
Who else
That's
is on
a
the
good parlay
prelim?
piece.
Who's on the prelim?
That's a good parlay piece.
Andrade is a great parlay piece.
Gilbert Burns.
Gilbert Burns is a great parlay piece. Both of them are 5-1. You gotta throw those two on a parlay. And I think there was a nice. Who else is on this card? On the prelim. RoboCop, I believe, is fighting.
RoboCop. He's over a 3-1 favorite.
He's over a 3-1 favorite.
I like RoboCop. He's getting a little old.
The newcomer coming in. He's got a lot of power.
He's getting a little old.
See, the thing about fighting guys with this power, the young guys, all it takes is one shot, and RoboCop is getting old, and they're bringing in this young kid. Where did he fight? Contender Series? I believe he had a quick KO. I'm pretty sure he had a quick KO. He got a lot of power, so we'll see in that fight.
All right.
There was another one, but
I'm about to fall asleep over here. Anyway, let's go back to what we were saying about the main event, because that's the most contentious point, I think, in this whole debate. I'm just going to go out and say it. I think that
if you go to FanDuel, method of victory, Jamahal Hill is -135 for the knockout. That just says it all.
That doesn't mean anything. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go out and say, I'm going to put it on record, I think Jamahal Hill's a one-trick pony. I give him a lot of credit for getting to where he's gotten, because, he has talent. I'm not going to say he doesn't have talent, but I think he's beaten a lot of guys that are out of his league. And Glover is no exception. He is better than him in every category. The only thing he's not is not younger, and Glover's been knocked out cold before. I just don't think he's a one-punch knockout guy, and I think you need to be a one-punch knockout guy, like Anthony Johnson, who else knocked him out? Ryan Bader? Or did he knock out Ryan Bader? Glover knocked out Ryan Bader.
Glover knocked out Ryan Bader.
Glover's been knocked out by a few guys in the UFC with one shot.
Yeah.
A few guys that
been a while.
I thought he was better.
John Jones.
But John Jones
TKO.
didn't knock him out. He won by decision.
Decision.
Yeah, he beat him by decision. But Glover has a few knockout losses in the UFC that
It's been a while since he's been knocked out.
Yeah, but he's old and he's been in wars. I don't like any of that. I know Jamahal Hill is capable of thrashing individuals, and he's done it. But I just think that Glover is better in every category, and it's kind of an insult that Jamahal Hill even has this fight. I think there's guys that are more deserving.
He's a favorite. He's almost a minus 150 favorite.
Do you think he would have been a favorite if Glover would have won that last fight? If the last 30 seconds he wouldn't have got choked like he did? If Glover would have been the champ?
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not.
I
still think it's close.
Why do you think he's the favorite? What has he done to prove that he's the favorite? Who has he beaten?
I don't know why he's asking me. We should be asking you.
No. I'm asking you. What you agree with that? Obviously. Like if you didn't, you would take Glover. He's plus money.
Well, I don't agree that I would make Jamahal Hill the favorite. I think you can make Glover a bigger favorite, like a minus 150 favorite, a minus 170 favorite, and you'd still get even money on both sides almost. I think the book's doing it backwards. I don't know why they're just convinced that Jamahal Hill's going to win.
So why do you think Jamahal Hill's the favorite?
He got a lot of hype coming up. I'm pretty sure the odds makers are thinking the way I am. They think Dana is this is kind of his guy. He wants champ right now. Otherwise, he wouldn't have.
If you
gave this fight to Jamahal Hill.
If you think Dana contrives things, you're wrong, because if he did,
the Ankalaev.
No, if Dana contrived things, Conor McGregor would still be double champ. That would be in the best interest of Dana.
Oh, he's trying. Conor McGregor just can't help.
He's not even in the USADA test.
They gave Conor Dustin twice because Conor was supposed to be faster, quicker, better, and it was proven wrong.
Why would Dana want Jamahal Hill to be the champ? He has like 10,000.
There's no one else in that division. Nobody speaks English. Dana wants Jamahal Hill as champ. I know it. That's why he's giving him this fight. Yeah.
No one even knows who Jamahal Hill is. If anything, everybody loves Glover.
They will. Yeah, but Glover's also old and done.
So let me ask you this question.
He's at the end of the road.
Are you going to... Do you think that when Glover, in probably the first or second round, gets a takedown, a double leg takedown, takes your boy's back, flattens him out, starts pummeling him like King Kong, and then he maybe taps out the strikes or just gives his neck to him just like McGregor did to Diaz, are you going to cry?
No.
Will you cry yourself to sleep Saturday night?
He's going to be fine on Saturday.
Will you jerk off using your tears as lubricant?
That's not enough. It's not enough tears for it. I need to cry a river for enough lube.
Will you write Jamahal Hill a handwritten letter pledging your love and allegiance to him?
Not a big Jamahal Hill fan. He just doesn't. He's not my guy. Johnny Walker, I'm a fan of him. He's gonna lose.
Is it true that you're Patrick Mahomes' second cousin?
Not even close.
If so, is it his mom or his dad's side?
Not even close. I've been told. I've been. Better be his dad's side. You know why?
I mean, I could assume, yes.
It's all gonna come from somewhere.
Yes. I ain't going anywhere, Wolfie. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap this up.
Wrap it up, then.
We obviously don't see eye to eye on this contentious point. Only time will tell, though. That's the beautiful thing about this sport, guys. I once wrote an article for Bleacher Report, and it was slugged MMA, the world's purest sport. And that was an op-ed piece. That was an editorial. That was a column, my own opinion, but I still stand by those words. I still think that it is the most pure sport. Tomorrow, we're going to find out what Paul Craig's made of. We're going to find out what Jelton Almeida's made of. We're definitely going to find out what Jamahal Hill's made out of, and if...
He's a little confused. He's got his fighters mixed up, kind of like Future would his birds.
Speaking of the microphone, though.
Is that what you said to all the Steelers when you were interviewing them? speak in the
No
microphone,
comment. No
bro.
comment.
I'm not your bro. You know. I try to go into this as allies, and we come out as enemies sometime. But the goal is always the same thing at the end of the day. That's to jack that bank account up higher than our pricks.
Yes. We try to keep our nuts empty, drained, our bank accounts fully stocked.
Yes. Hopefully. And there's one thing we gotta tell you. Don't let your bank account drain faster than your balls. It's one thing, if I ever tell you, live by it, take it to the grave.
If your old man ever taught you anything, it was that. That, and if Wolfie shows up, you don't go.
You take two to the chest, and you keep standing. You keep fighting. If it brings you down, it brings you down. But you get back up, pull out the probe, and get on with it.
Listen, guys, we're a little frustrated. We had a parlay, both of us. We needed New Mexico, the Lobos, to cover 2.5.
A little Mountain West basketball late night.
It looked like it was in the bag. They somehow let the fucking cock-sucking Boise State motherfucking Broncos, is that what their name is?
The Boise State Broncos,
Somehow they fucking hit a 3 to go to overtime.
And I'm just going to put on record, every game of mine that goes to overtime, it's an instant loss. It mushes out. It's the end of the road when I go to overtime. I lose every overtime game. I have an 0 for record in overtime games.
Real quick, let's talk about tomorrow's playoff games, and we got to wrap this up. What are your favorite picks?
Easy. Chiefs, Eagles, parlay them both if you want. Money line, spread. They're both heavy favorites. They're both going to cover.
You don't worry about where the public is?
I'm not worried about where the public is.
You don't worry about Danny Boy Jones playing the game of his life last week?
Not worried about Danny Dimes.
You don't worry about Saquon Barkley having an 800-pound squat?
Whatever happened last week is last
4.340?
week. This week is this week. The Eagles' defense is going to be too much. You're at home.
You thinking the birds are going to fly?
What is it? The 12th man in Philly? What's that stadium called?
The Link.
You know, there was... you know how I know it's... you know, the Link? You know there was a bar in Hermione called the Link.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Stinky Linky.
No. It was actually called the Link.
Remember that movie, Zach and Miri made a porno?
Yastrzemski goes there. So he used to go to the bar. If you don't know it, you look it up. He's a frequent stopper at that bar. I don't know if he... We'll keep it at that.
Yastrzemski, yeah, he's gayer than a tree with no leaves.
That's all right.
Anyway, so you said you got the Jaguars and you got the... What else?
Nobody has the Jaguars. We got the Chiefs. Lay the points, the money line, buy it down, tease it, however you want to do it. Chiefs, Eagles, it's too easy. And then on Sunday, we're going both dogs. What did I tell you earlier? The dogs are barking on Sunday.
You're going dog heavy?
We're going to heaven with the dogs.
Dogging out?
Doggy style on Sunday. It's going to be the Bengals. The Bengal. Browns. They'll never sniff the
Bengal's a cat, bro.
The Bengals.
That's not a dog.
The dogs are barking.
The Bengal's a cat.
But the cat's an underdog.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes it a dog.
Carry on.
Or it could be a cat dog.
Carry on.
Bengals, Cowboys, double dog. That's easy.
Bengals, Cowgirls?
On Sunday.
You like those dogs?
I like the way they'll bark Sunday.
All right. I mean, I can't say that I want to argue too much about those picks. The one thing I don't agree with him on is Jamahal Hill. I think Jamahal Hill is very... He's almost delusional in how much he believes in himself, and he's come so far. Like, I have a ton of respect for him. I think the guy's made it happen somehow. I just don't think that he has the skills and the wherewithal to beat a guy like Glover. And Glover's just seen too high level of competition. He's seen it all. I don't think there's anything Jamahal Hill can throw at him that he hasn't seen.
But when Glover looks bad on Saturday night, it's not going to be a fluke. He's going to gas out.
Gas out?
He's going to gas.
Just went 5 rounds.
He's going to gas.
Gas my
He's going to get tired. Jamahal Hill is going to put him away. TKO. Hopefully it's not a brutal KO. Hopefully it's just a TKO, which he kind of just melts him up against the cage. Glover's covering up. Jamahal Hill's throwing down them big long strikes.
So do you think
the range
the under
is
might
going to
be
be
a
an
good bet?
issue? Under's a great bet. The range is going to be an issue.
But what about the last fight going the distance? You don't think that kind of scares me on taking the under?
It can go the distance. I'm just Jamahal Hill money line.
I'm gonna put it on the record. I like Glover to win by finish.
He put on the record Charles Oliveira was going to beat Islam. After that was a guaranteed.
Yeah, I'll own that. That was a loss. That cost me. I like it. I like Glover by finish. I like Dutchief. Really like Dutchief.
Mm-hmm.
And then, is that the early game?
That's the early. That's the first game. Second game is it's going to be Philly at night. It's going to be over. You saw what happened when the Vikings went to Philly at night.
I don't know about that.
Can't go to Philly.
I don't know about that. Daniel Jones looked so good last game.
He looked good last week. He's not going to look good this week.
He looked so good. I don't know about that game. I kind of want to take.
Who's that lineman for the Eagles with all them sacks?
Fletcher Cox?
No.
I don't know.
He's second in the league with
and
sacks.
The Cowgirl, I kind of like them because they have the likes of Micah Parsons and that Diggs fella. Is he healthy? He's good too. I like them, and then what was it?
I like Dub Bengal.
Dub Bengal. I kind of like to get the Bengal as well. Joe Burrow is just a beast.
Joey Silk.
He's a monster.
It's kind of like very similar to what my prick is nowadays. It's basically Silk. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
this podcast was supposed to be PG-13. He just kind of ruined that, I guess. Now it's not rated R. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. Tomorrow we'll have a follow-up of me demoralizing Anthony after he already lost. It'll just be a celebration video of me talking about how old guys can still do it. Old guys like me, old guys like Glover, we can still do it. We can still whoop ass. And tomorrow Jamahal Hill's going to find out about it. I mean, I'm sorry, I like Jamahal Hill. USA. But in this case, the guy from the favelas is going to end up on top.
Jamahal Hill's knocking him out. TKO, KO prop. You want to go bet it, you bet it. I think it's plus 115. That's like low. It's probably what they know is going to happen. He's going to get knocked out in his home country. Hate to say I told you so. Who said that?
Only time will tell, guys, and we'll have a follow-up video
I told you so. Thanks, Luke.
We'll have a follow-up video to hash all of this out because bragging rights are on the line, and
Joe Rogan didn't even want to fly to Brazil because he knows he doesn't want to witness his friend Glover.
But listen, bragging rights are on the line, and being that this is the inaugural Friends That Argue Over MMA/Sports podcast, I'm putting my fucking word on the line here. That Glover...
I'm putting my balls on the line.
I got my prick on the line. Ant's got his balls.
My prick's elsewhere.
We'll find out tomorrow what happens. Till then.